Welcome everyone. This is the Masterclass. My name is Patricknazareth. I have around 30 years of teaching experience and I would like to share something of what I know with you guys. So let's get right down to it, shall we? Today, we are going to look at the poem, The Trees, written by Joyce Kilmer. But first, we look at the background of the poet. Joyce Kilmer was of Irish descent. He was born in America on December the 6th, 1886. Like most Irishmen, he was a staunch Roman Catholic. Religious strength of his is brought out vividly in his poems. He fought during the First World War. He died in the First Battle of the Marne at the tender young age of 31. Continuing on to the poem then, let's examine it stanza by stanza. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree. So here we see the poet is saying that nothing can compare to one of God's creations. In other words, a poem or anything else that is made by man can never be as lovely as a tree. He then goes on in the next two lines, a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast. Here, the poet makes the tree a person. What is a person doing? It is like a baby taking milk from her mother. In this case, the tree is drawing sustenance, the tree is drawing nourishment from the earth. Continuing onwards, a tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray. Here we see that the poet has looked in the previous stanza at where the tree is drawing sustenance from. The nourishment that it needs to grow comes from the earth. As it grows, it lifts its arms, in other words, its branches, towards the sky. It appears as if the tree is praying. Praying to whom? Praying to God. Continuing on, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair. The poet reminds us and starts writing about the different seasons. He says, during summer, robins, which are a type of bird, may nest in her branches. They might give birth to birds, fledglings in their branches. So in the branches of the tree, a nest of robins might make their homes and grow there. Continuing on, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. We continue here with the weather motif, the way we look at weather in this case. The weather motif being in this case winter and rain. So during the winter, the tree is covered with snow. And during the rainy season, it gets wet with the rain that falls down from the heavens. The last two lines go on. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. Here the poet is again comparing what a human can do to what God can do. And here his deeply religious nature comes out. He is trying to tell you that no matter what humankind is capable of, no matter what buildings they build, no matter what sculptures they produce, no matter what paintings they can do, anything and everything that they can produce cannot even compare to the simplest of God's creations, the most basic, the most beautiful of God's creations, like a tree. He says that people like him who attempt to write poems are only fools, because whatever they do, they cannot ever compete with God. They shouldn't even try. The basic themes which run through this poem are basically two: God and nature. In other words, God creates nature. God has created human beings. God has created all the life on earth as we know it. And the second is human art. And he draws a comparison between the two. And the poet tries to explain to us that no matter how well or how beautifully we make things, nothing we can ever do can compare to what God has done for us and what God keeps on doing for us, and the beautiful things that He has created to keep us company on this beautiful earth of ours. That's it then. If you feel that this has been of help to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Remember, there may be others out there who may need our help.